fans, viewers, subscribers, and guests, from all of us to all of you, happy holidays from the RWL YouTube channel.
The following pro wrestling exhibition requires discretionary viewer participation. RWL wrestling fans, a good evening to you. Once again, San Antonio, Texas, playing host to tonight's edition of RWL Rage. A good evening to you wherever you may be. I'm Don Hickson, and I'm joined by Christy Ogilvie. Myron Schimmelman, unfortunately far too busy in the month of December with his job as booking agent to be available this evening. We are joined by a very special guest, the Dean of the Broadcasting Department, former broadcast partner to Christy Ogilvie here, Mike Lane. Mike, I sure hope this isn't some sort of performance evaluation.
Don't be ridiculous, Don. Everyone knows I love the broadcast teams on both Snarl and here on Rage. No, sir, I intend to just kick back and have a great time with you and Christy here. It's been DeLon Christie since we shared as a broadcast table hung.
Mike, it's so good to see you back in the booth after just so long, honey. I miss you all the time.
Trust me, Christy, we've got to whole hours to catch up while we enjoy tonight's amazing card of a WL mat action. And tonight, something extra special. We're starting the tournament for the TV Tag titles tonight, with 2 matches in the first hour alone. I couldn't have picked a better night to sub for Myron.
And no doubt Myron Schimmelman will be watching on a monitor from his office. And it is indeed 2 great hours tonight of RWL mat action, not to be missed. And let's get the show on the road right away. Legends Division action right away. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, set to lock it up with Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
Howdy, San Antonio, and welcome to RWL Rage. Our first match is scheduled for 1 fall, with a 15-minute time limit. Approaching the ring, from right here in San Antonio, Texas, weighing 221 pounds, the Heartbreak Kid, here is Shawn Michaels.
Oh, that's Shawn Michaels for you. Doesn't appear for weeks and months. And now just recently main eventing Snarl against Macho Man Randy Savage, and here tonight on Rage, opening up the card against Eddie Guerrero of all things. Wow. HBK looking really sharp this evening, and the San Antonio fans definitely losing it for the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels.
But it's always cool when he does pull up, Don. And what a battle of Texans. Boy, I wish Tex Lynch was here too for this one.
He's around tonight, and I'm sure he's watching, wherever he is. So, HBK and Eddie Guerrero, fairly even in height and weight, but Eddie does all the high-flying magic, and he moves quick, and that's gonna be a problem for HBK. But he's the hometown boy in this card opener, and you can hear a nice chunk of that crowd's behind him.
And his opponent, along with the 9th wonder of the world, China, from El Paso, Texas, weighing 224 pounds, Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
Mr. Lion cheating and stealing himself, along with China, who's just off a loss to Patty Powers in her bid for the women's Gulf Coast belt. But right here standing behind Eddie Guerrero tonight, with him about to lock horns with Shawn Michaels.
And I ain't gotta tell you, Mike, how awkward it's gotta be for China standing ringside watching HBK. It's gotta be uncomfortable on some level, doesn't it? Reopening old wounds and whatnot.
Shine is a pro all the way, though. She doesn't let the personal aspect of the biz get in the way like some stars do. No, it would take something catastrophic to rouse China to real anger.
But right now, it is all about Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero, and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Indeed, a battle of Texans, and I'm sure Hangman Tex Lynch is watching wherever he might be. What a matchup to open up tonight's RWL Rage. Even I'm obligated to admit this is an impressive startup match for tonight's edition of RWL Rage. Here we go. Willie Johnson sounds the bell. They come center ring. They lock up collar and elbow. Eddie Guerrero with the upper hand, a side suplex to HBK. Guerrero with the Russian leg sweep. Shawn Michaels back to a standing position. Eddie Guerrero whips him to the far left corner, charges, and there's a clothesline. Taking HBK down to the mat again. Eddie Guerrero really opening fire here on the Heartbreak Kid. In the early goings of this matchup, there's a knee right to the top of the skull. HBK still yet to mount any real offense here, and whoa, a beautiful rebound drop kick off the ropes from Latino Heat, who continues the relentless assault on Shawn Michaels. Out there on the apron, Guerrero charges a shoulder tackle, puts Shawn Michaels out there onto the floor, and here comes Eddie Guerrero right after him. A set of chops, all right, another chop, bouncing. Shawn Michaels off the barricade, he counters with elbows to Eddie Guerrero. They lock up. Guerrero rolled back inside the ring by HBK. A clothesline puts him right back out on the floor. Latino Heat already up to his chicanery. Up on the top turnbuckle, HBK on the outside. Here comes Guerrero. Whoa! Shawn Michaels caught him and slammed him. Power bomb to the floor. Referee Willie Johnson continuing to count here. An arm snap and an elbow to the chest of Eddie Guerrero from Shawn Michaels. HBK driving Eddie Guerrero into the barricades. The fans absolutely loving it. There's another knee to the head. This battle of Texans. San Antonio versus El Paso. And what a match it is so far. Shawn Michaels turning things around finally on the outside as referee Willie Johnson continues to count. HBK makes his way back inside the ring. Eddie Guerrero on the outside continuing to be counted. Back to his feet, makes his way back inside the ring. But this China getting into it with Shawn Michaels, and Eddie Guerrero takes full advantage. A beautiful arm drag. China assisting Eddie Guerrero on that one. HBK drives Guerrero head first into the far right turnbuckle. There's a chop right across the chest. Down goes Latino Heat. HBK covers. One. Oop, no, just a one. Latino Heat catches a kick to the side of the head from Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels daring Eddie Guerrero to stand up so he can knock him right back down again. There's a fist drop right to the head of Latino Heat, an elbow to the top of the skull. And Shawn Michaels has certainly turned it around. Here is another charge, a clothesline, but oopsie, over the top rope, out onto the floor goes Shawn Michaels instead. Eddie Guerrero with a set of chops and kicks to Shawn Michaels, and a powerbomb, a sit-out powerbomb from Latino Heat. Latino Heat working the crowd here, and the loyalties are definitely split right down the middle. Latino Heat whips HBK to the ropes, leapfrogs, gets a hold of HBK, but it's close. Shawn Michaels with a knee to the midsection, whips Guerrero to the ropes. And look at this right here. Eddie Guerrero with a beautiful counter. So fast you almost didn't see it happen. A boot scrape to the sides of the face of HBK. There's a stomp to the midsection. Latino Heat regaining control of the situation here. Another stomp to the back of Shawn Michaels. Eddie Guerrero bouncing the head of Shawn Michaels off the canvas. A stomp right to the arm. Latino Heat gathers up HBK, kick to the midsection. He's setting up something here. Gory stretch, an old family recipe from the Guerrero family playbook. HBK in trouble here. In the corner, Eddie Guerrero catches a knee from Shawn Michaels quickly. Back up, a right, a left, another right, and a hard right. Dropping Guerrero center ring to the canvas. Shawn Michaels finding hard right hands on the head of Latino Heat here. Another stomp to the midsection, a rolling elbow to the back of Eddie Guerrero. Shawn Michaels making his way to the top turnbuckle as Chyna looks on. Here we go, elbow drop right across the chest. Shawn Michaels covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, this one is all over. Shawn Michaels picking up the win by pinfall.
Here's the time, 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Your winner, HBK, Shawn Michaels.
Now, how about that? The hometown boy definitely making good and snatching one away from Latino Heat at the last minute. Wasn't expecting that ending, especially after the killer match HBK had with Macho Man and Snarl. Yeah, Shawn Michaels always brings it. Great matchup.
Eddie had a great start to this match, really had control of Shawn, but he slipped up one too many times as it went on, and HBK seized the moment. Great match to start things off, but it only gets better from here, and we'll be right back when Rage will continue, so stay with us fans.
Accompanied by vivacious Virginia, Austin.
I don't believe it.
From Victoria, Australia. Valor
Top drawer scumbag. He couldn't fill Jessica Goldman's spot fast enough. And with Ginny Austin, the loose cannon of the former Bell Council. Guy's definitely under the snake's belly for sure.
Grace Fenwick going with the whole holiday season thing. She must have been hearing the things I've said. Look at her. She looks like a sadistic little elf. And now alongside Virginia Austin. Wow, they did not waste any time just penciling her in there, did they? Wow.
Ballarat Jack is definitely our 2025 Ebenezer Scrooge. Full stop.
Virginia Austin whipped to the corner. Here comes Tia Suzuki again. And another double team coming up. Look at this. Just tumbling. Nothing fancy. Just a bunch of fists to the body. Oh, running knee from Tia Suzuki. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. That is going to do it. Kanari Doku picks up the win by pinfall.
And your winners by pinfall, Kanari Doku.
Eddie Mizuno.
Up next on the Markamania Factor, being a huge embarrassing failure and coping with your midlife crisis poorly. Real men, I'd like to ask you a question. How many of you have had a woman in your life that counted upon you to take care of her? And when things became difficult, just when they're about to give up, how many of you have thrown them away like a used-up vape pen? None of you, I'm guessing, except maybe Ballarat Jack Jones. Now, Jack, I might not be the nicest man on the face of the earth, but I've never been disloyal to anyone ever. And disloyalty makes me very unpleasant to be around. So I put the question to you, Ballarat Jack. What kind of man are you? But what say we find out, Jackie boy? You are cordially invited to a mixed gender tag match with myself and Miss Morse X. And please, bring your new toy. I'm looking forward to seeing Miss Morse X break her. And as for you, Ballarat Jack, maybe it's time I re-injured you again.
The strange and colorful way of Mad Dog Mark McKay on display yet again, challenging Ballarat Jack Jones and Virginia Austin to a mixed gender tag match between himself and Miss Morse X, and it is next.
The following mixed tag match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Adelaide, Australia, Vivacious Virginia Austin, and from Victoria, Australia, Ballarat, Jack Jones.
What an absolute snake Ballarat Jack's turned out to be. I mean, it was bad enough when fans just didn't like him before, but after how he's thrown Jessica Goldman over for Virginia Austin, the fans are making their displeasure known. Extra loud.
She's been looking for a direction for over a year since the Bell Council got broken up, and I guess she sensed an opportunity, or she's been yanking Jack's chain for a while. Who knows what the truth is except them? But as far as the fans are concerned, Christie, like they say, the optics are real bad.
And big respect to Mad Dog McKay for calling Jack out on his betrayal of Jessica Goldman. Not only calling him out, but egging him into this mixed tag. But in my book, Ballarat Jack has ruined any hope for respect he might have had.
And their opponents, from parts unknown, Miss Morse X, and from Ithaca, New York, Mad Dog, Mark McKay.
McKay already has it in for Jack. Remember that he sidelined Jack for almost 3 months earlier this year. And if he disliked Jack before, he's really triggered by his disloyalty. Nobility from the Mad Dog. Who would have thunk it, Christie?
He's built different. You couldn't ever see McKay being disloyal to Miss Morse, right? And total sidebar here. Miss Morse X, totally showing out. New mask, new outfit, the whole nine. Huh? Bet you any amount of money Virginia isn't anything like that kind of devoted to Ballarat Jack.
I would imagine not. Virginia Austin, a creature of opportunity, and no doubt seizing one to hook up with Ballarat Jack in the United Kingdom. As is customary in the mixed tag team genre, it'll be ladies first, Virginia Austin and Miss Morse X. Well, now, Miss Morse X sporting a new outfit, and wow, what an outfit. The bell sounds. Here we go. Clothesline from Miss Morse X takes down Virginia Austin and going for an immediate pin. 1, 2, and scoring a near fall. Within the first 15 seconds, Miss Morse X fired up here. Virginia Austin gets a hold on her, whips her to the corner. Look at this. Whoa! A little bit of athleticism from Virginia Austin. A kick right to the butt. Miss Morse X up the ropes, drop kicks. Virginia Austin center ring. Austin catches a series of shots from Miss Morse X up over the shoulder. Fireman's carry into a sit out with a pin. 1. I'll tell you what, Miss Morse X certainly performing. Within the first minute of this matchup, the leg swept by Virginia Austin. Austin gathers up Miss Morse X, wrist clutch boot to the face, and a blatant choke. Virginia Austin takes herself out of the equation, turns it over to Ballarat Jack, and here comes Mad Dog McKay, catches a boot to the face from Ballarat Jack, and the tensions between Jack and Mad Dog Mark McKay escalating again after many months of relative peace. Ballarat Jack opening up on McKay here. There's a knee right to the head. Down goes McKay. McKay quickly back up, but Ballarat Jack with a kick right to the face of Mad Dog McKay, followed up with another. Ballarat Jack Jones whips McKay to his team's corner and begins yanking the arm of McKay. Mad Dog in trouble on the wrong side of town with Ballarat Jack opening up. Ballarat Jack with a knee to the head of Mad Dog Mark McKay. Ballarat Jack pushes him right back into the same corner again. Face first into the turnbuckle. McKay catching a beating over here. And Ballarat Jack, McKay counters, finds his way out of the corner. Ballarat Jack right there to take him right down to the canvas. Mounted punches from Ballarat Jack, the angry Aussie. Absolutely relentless covers. One. Not even a one. McKay puts the brakes on and takes down Ballarat Jack. Mad Dog Mark McKay with a double X handle across the back of Jack Jones. A leg drop across the arm of Ballarat Jack. Jack rolls to the outside for a quick reset. Comes back in. McKay right there waiting for him. A knee to the head. And here come the ladies. Virginia Austin and Miss Morse X. Miss Morse X with a glancing kick to Virginia Austin. Austin whipped to the ropes. Miss Morse X with a kick and a spin kick to the back of the head of Virginia Austin. Vivacious Virginia Austin has not mounted a great deal of offense for her portion of the match. Miss Morse X, on the other hand, has been a wrestling machine. Absolutely amazing. Double knees into the back of Vivacious Virginia Austin. The gentlemen come back in. Ballarat Jack and Mad Dog McKay lock it up center ring. Ballarat Jack with the upper hand hangs McKay up off of the top rope and starts raining punches on Mad Dog McKay, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Ballarat Jack Jones lit up here, turning the momentum over to his side. Quick running DDT from the Mad Dog. A running drop kick to the back of Ballarat Jack Jones. A kick to the midsection and a neck breaker. Ballarat Jack Jones already busted open by Mad Dog Mark McKay. A kick to the leg. McKay whips Ballarat Jack back into the corner. Headlock punch right to the face. McKay goes behind. A shot to the back of Jones. Whips him to his team's corner. Ballarat Jack Jones introduced face first into the turnbuckle. Mad Dog Mark McKay turning it around here. Vicious chop right across the chest of the angry Aussie. And the ladies take over. Miss Morse X charges, is caught from behind by Virginia Austin. A knee to the head and a quick pin attempt. One. Only a one. Miss Morse X powering out of the pin. Meanwhile, on the outside, Ballarat Jack Jones and Mad Dog Mark McKay duking it out just out of camera range. Virginia Austin going to work on Miss Morse X. There's an elbow right to the chest and a quick kick up. No question about it, Virginia Austin quite athletic. Mad Dog McKay and Ballarat Jack mixing it up on the outside in the interim. Meanwhile, Miss Morse X catches a hip toss from Virginia Austin. Austin with wrist clutch kicks on a forearm from Miss Morse X. Miss Morse X rolls to the outside. Virginia Austin battles with her on the apron. Whoa! And swept down by Miss Morse X, who charges to the outside. Starts raining shots on Miss Morse X. There's a German suplex on the floor with the referee already counting. Miss Morse X rolled back inside. Here comes Virginia Austin. And Virginia Austin finally mounting some serious offense here. Miss Morse X beginning to take some punishment at the hands of Virginia Austin. A quick counter from Morse. A kick to the midsection from Virginia Austin. A shot that spins Morse X around, up over the shoulders, electric chair position. Turned around, whoa! Quickly countered into a Hurricane Rana by Miss Morse X, who has far more wrestling coordination than she lets on. Absolutely amazing. Off the middle rope kick right to the face of Virginia Austin. Austin rolls to the outside. Morse X over the top rope. Whoa! Cross body. Crashing into Virginia Austin. Austin rolled back inside the ring. Look at this, a little bit of showboating for the fans here in San Antonio from Miss Morse X. Virginia Austin misses with the clothesline. Morse slams her head into the far right turnbuckle. The leg draped over the middle rope, a kick to the calf from Miss Morse X. A hard right spins Virginia Austin around a sleeper hold, a potential submission here, but no. A counter, a jawbreaker from Virginia Austin. A spin, whoa, a forearm, what a shot. Down went Miss Morse X. I'm surprised she got up so quickly. She recovers and retaliates with the same kind of force. Here's another cover. One. Only a one. Virginia Austin powering out of the pin. And Miss Morse X proceeds to go to work, has her up, powerbomb. Flips her over, and there's a knee to the face. And the gentlemen take over. Ballarat Jack and Mad Dog McKay. McKay opens up with a set of shots and takes down Ballarat Jack down to one knee. McKay with another neck breaker. Here's a pin attempt, center ring with a hook of the leg. 1, 2. A 2 count this time. A near fall for the gentleman. A kick to the side of the head of Ballarat Jack Jones. McKay all the way up here. He comes, elbow right to the top of the skull of Ballarat Jack Jones. He's rallying Jones to get back up. He can knock him right back down again, and there's an elbow, a fist drop, pardon me. McKay swings and misses with the grapple. Ballarat Jack counters, rebound off the ropes, and a flying punch takes McKay down to the canvas. Mad Dog McKay, gathered up by Ballarat Jack Jones, whipped into his team's corner. Ballarat Jack smashes the head of McKay into the turnbuckle. The Mad Dog in serious trouble. Ballarat Jack opens up with driving knees to the midsection, followed up with a big boot to the chest. And another, and a third. McKay rolls out of the corner. Ballarat Jack Jones sets up for the abdominal stretch. Here comes Miss Morse X to the rescue. McKay rolls outside to the apron as the ladies take over. Miss Morse X takes down Virginia Austin quickly, going for a pin. 1, 2. Nope. The left shoulder of Virginia Austin coming up before the count of 3. Miss Morse X whips Austin towards the rope. Has her up, there's a kick, and there's a second one right to the back of the head. And here come the gentlemen again. Ballarat Jack Jones with a spear on McKay. Here's a pin attempt. 1. Miss Morse X right there to break up the pin. McKay laid out as the ladies come back in again. A rising knee takes Morse X down to the canvas. Virginia Austin immediately going to work on Miss Morse X down on the canvas. Austin with a little, a leg drop with a little flourish. Virginia Austin in control of Miss Morse X at the present time. Oh, this does not look good. He's charging it up, and there's the super kick. Down goes Miss Morse X. Here's a pin. 1, 2. Another near fall in this matchup. What a mixed tag matchup so far. Austin off the knee finding nothing but canvas. A forearm to Miss Morse X, who has been at a disadvantage in this particular portion of the matchup. Oh, here we go. Virginia Austin taunting Miss Morse X, who has rolled the... unintentionally taking down Ballarat Jack in the process, but what a shot to Miss Morse X, and there's another leg drop from Virginia Austin. Ballarat Jack taking one for the team, as it were. Miss Morse X driven into the ring steps. Now both taunting Miss Morse X, and she is laid out. She is in trouble. Virginia Austin on the top turnbuckle. Miss Morse X slowly making her way to her feet. And another Hurricane Rana off the top turnbuckle. Wow. Virginia Austin drops the jumping elbow on the chest, followed up with a kip up. Miss Morse X in big trouble. Virginia Austin really beginning to pile on the punishment. Miss Morse X rounded up, rolled back inside the ring finally. Virginia Austin taking her time about getting back in the ring. Miss Morse X still motionless. She steps out. Here come the gentlemen again. A rising knee to Mad Dog McKay from Ballarat Jack. Here's a pin. 1, 2. Ballarat Jack Jones is busted open pretty bad. McKay slowly gets up, catches a flying punch from off the ropes from Ballarat Jack Jones. Jones delivers an overhand right, gets a hold of McKay, whips him to the ropes, tried for the suplex, but no. McKay counters with a set of shots. A counter from Ballarat Jack. They lock up against center ring. Up over the shoulders goes Mad Dog McKay. Ballarat Jack smashes his head into the turnbuckle. Ballarat Jack Jones vacillating a little bit here, debating perhaps what he should do next. McKay quickly back up. There's a kick that takes Ballarat Jack down to the canvas briefly. Hard right hand puts him right back down again. Mad Dog Mark McKay abruptly seizing control of the situation here as Ballarat Jack finds himself on the receiving end of the business. McKay firmly in control, and the fans firmly behind. Mad Dog, look at this. Exposes the turnbuckle himself, doesn't need anyone to do it for him. He's that kind of guy. Whoa! And right into the turnbuckle goes Ballarat Jack. Just the way he planned it. 1. But nope. Ballarat Jack, with that resilience, despite being busted open and battered, still kicking out of the pin. McKay delivering stomp after stomp to the head of Ballarat Jack Jones, catching a beating at the hands of Mad Dog Mark McKay right in front of Virginia Austin, no less. A set of quick jabs from McKay and a hard left. Takes Ballarat Jack down to the canvas. McKay relentlessly also working on the arms of Ballarat Jack Jones. Another devastating right. Ballarat Jack catching all kinds of hell from Mad Dog McKay. Whoa! Beautifully executed from the Mad Dog. Here's a pin attempt. But Virginia Austin right there to break it up. McKay gathers him up again. Ballarat Jack Jones whipped to the opposing team's corner. A vicious Wahoo McDaniel style chop across the chest. And here come the ladies. Virginia Austin catching a rising knee from Miss Morse X. Morse spins her around with a hard right, has her up over the shoulders, inverted fireman's carry, does a knee right to the skull. Whoa! Here's another quick cover. 1, 2, 3. That is the end of the story. Miss Morse X picking up the win for her team in this mixed tag match. Wow.
The time was 16 minutes and 13 seconds, and your winners, Miss Morse X and Mad Dog McKay.
And once again, Mad Dog Mark McKay and Miss Morse X never ceasing to amaze and never shying away from an opportunity at an unorthodox matchup, a mixed tag match this evening, with Miss Morse X and Mad Dog Mark McKay prevailing over Virginia Austin and Ballarat Jack Jones. And well, now, how do you like that? Mad Dog Mark McKay watching as Miss Morse X puts the finishing touches on Virginia Austin. It's another crucial fail and an unwanted one at that. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more RWL Rage right after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to RWL Rage. With all the preliminaries now out of the way, it is time for us to move forward with the beginning of the Television Tag Team Championship Tournament. And we are beginning with 2 qualifying matchups. They are not tournament matchups per se, they are not first round matchups. These matches, the first 8, will be qualifying matches, and we're going to see the first 2 right here tonight. Standard 20-minute time limit, standard tag team rules, not tournament rules. The only tournament requirement is that there are no seconds permitted at ringside.
Well, everyone was wondering what was going to happen with the TV tag titles since Matt Clark and Rod Whitley, the Southern Gentlemen, chose retirement. And starting tonight, guys, we start getting us some answers.
If indeed tag team wrestling is your bag, tonight is your lucky night. Our first qualifying matchup, the Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder facing Mad Dog X and the Black Sinister, the X Clan.
The following tournament qualifying match, 1 fall, with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring first, representing Bell Unlimited, at a combined weight of 380 pounds, Scott Dawson, Dash Wilder, the Revival.
2 of Too Short's newest clients. Mike, you remember what it was like when it was his gulag and he had the only set of keys?
I sure do. And thanks to the measures taken since those days, Bell can never, ever reach that level of power again. He's lucky to have a spot as a manager, and is piddling 10% of the company's stock.
10%? His father allowed him that much? I'm amazed.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 420 pounds, from Newark, New Jersey, and over 400 years of oppression, Mad Dog X, and the Black Sinister, the X Clan.
Yeah, you best believe the X Clan wants a piece of this tournament. That's why they're entering the qualifier against the Revival. Come on now, they fighting against Bell Unlimited. It's about time y'all show the X Clan some respect, and X and Sinister. They ready for some tag team gold again? Yeah.
The No Rules champion, the icon, the legend, Magic, stalwart sponsor and supporter of the X Clan, occasionally tag team partner with Mad Dog X and Black Sinister. And they have certainly thrown their hat into the ring. Former tag team champions in the past, but that was a long time ago. The X Clan certainly would like to get back on top. It'll be Scott Dawson and the Black Sinister stepping up to the plate for their respective teams in this matchup. Tournament qualifier, here we go. The bell is sounded by Tom Kanemaru. A gouge of the face from Scott Dawson to the Black Sinister, a hard right. Sinister shoves him back, winds up draped on the middle rope. Scott Dawson exploiting the error, driving a knee into the back of the Black Sinister. Scott Dawson gathers up Sinister. Sinister counters with a jawbreaker. Moves in a quick move. A quick counter from Scott Dawson. Sinister counters with a right. The Black Sinister whips Scott Dawson to the X-Clan corner. Here comes Mad Dog X on the attack. Oh, here we go. Double stereo kicks to Scott Dawson as Mad Dog X takes over, an uppercut and a Hurricane Rana, taking Scott Dawson down quickly. Mad Dog X immediately going to work on Scott Dawson. A stomp right to the face. Double boot stomp to the midsection. A kick to the chest. Mad Dog X in control of Scott Dawson at the present time. Whipped into the corner. Woo, an elbow. Takes Scott Dawson down to the mat. Mad Dog X. A little bit of showboating here. The X Clan. Seasoned veterans. Absolutely amazing high flyers. Clothesline from Scott Dawson. Dawson rounds up Mad Dog X, going to work on the head and neck area of Mad Dog X. Scott Dawson drops the leg. X counters, gets back up on his feet, and another Hurricane Run to Scott Dawson. Mad Dog X whips Dawson to the X-Clan corner. Dawson counters, finds his way out. Counter whips Mad Dog X to his team's corner. And here comes Dash Wilder. Referee Tom Kennemore going to be just fine. Here's a double team. Look at this. Oh! Working on the leg of Mad Dog X. Dash Wilder in there, but catches a jawbreaker from X. X whips Dash Wilder to his corner. Wilder counters. Tries to go after Black Sinister, but not a good idea. Sinister slips in here, but Dash Wilder shows him the outside. Mad Dog X prepared to join the fray out here as Black Sinister catches a backbreaker from Dash Wilder. Sinister with an arm drag to Dash Wilder. Oh! Head first into the lip of the apron. Mad Dog X winds up the arm on Dash Wilder. Wilder counters with shots to the midsection. The referee already still counting. Oh! A clubbing overhand right. A counter kick from Dash Wilder. Another kick. Up over the shoulder. A counter. An inverted DDT on the floor. A drop kick to the back of the head. Mad Dog X on fire on the outside, completely ignoring the referee's count. Another kick takes Dash Wilder down to the floor yet again. Swing and a miss here, but a counter from X, who finally gets Dash Wilder back in the ring. Dash Wilder is all messed up. A counter from Dash Wilder, quickly back up on his feet, a clothesline. Mad Dog X whips him to the X-Clan corner. Dash Wilder counters. Whips X to his team's corner, a clothesline. Takes Mad Dog X down to the canvas center ring. Dash Wilder counter, a sweep of the leg. A counter from Dash Wilder. Wilder whips into, a cheap shot from Scott Dawson as well. Hung up on the top rope, down he goes. Dash Wilder firmly in control here. Quickly turning it over to Scott Dawson. Here's a tag. Here comes Black Sinister. Scott Dawson with a clothesline. Takes Sinister down to the canvas. Sinister sweeps the leg, takes him down. Scott Dawson counters with a jawbreaker. A kick takes Sinister down to the mat. Out there on the apron as Dash Wilder is brought in on the tag. Sinister on the apron and quickly back inside the ring. Dash Wilder quickly on him. Whips him to the Revival corner. Smashes into the turnbuckle. Counters Sinister with a kick to the midsection. Whoa! A kick to the head out of nowhere and a quick cover one. It was so fast you almost didn't see it happen. Sinister with a low drop kick to the side of the head of Dash Wilder. Wilder escapes the X-Clan corner just in time, evading the charge of Black Sinister. Sinister escorted towards the Revival's corner, but here's a snapmare from Dash Wilder. Wilder grinding the knuckles into the temples of the Black Sinister. Slams his head down to the canvas, follows it up with a stomp to the back of the head for good measure. Sinister quickly taking him down. Dash Wilder countering with another jawbreaker. Winds up the arm. But a quick set of counter punches disengages Dash Wilder. Taken down again. Dash Wilder absolutely relentless. Working on Mad Dog X. Mad Dog X counters, gets back up on his feet. As Dash Wilder, A Samoan drop out of no place. The X-Clan moves very quickly, very efficiently. A counter kick to Dash Wilder. Wilder whipped out onto the apron. Mad Dog X is staring at him like a cobra poised to strike. He is waiting for Dash Wilder to make the first move. And he ain't making it. Wait a second, here we go. Mad Dog X all out of patience. Drives the head of Dash Wilder into the lip of the apron. Dash Wilder starting to fade fast here. Here's a quick counter though. Another counter from Mad Dog X and a beautiful drop kick on the outside. Once again the referee counting another jawbreaker from Dash Wilder. Mad Dog X with the fireman's carry. X rounds up Dash Wilder. Dash Wilder puts on the brakes, counters with an elbow to the leg. X finally rolls back inside the ring. There's an elbow to the head with a parting shot. Back inside the ring now, Dash Wilder with X up over the shoulders. A backbreaker. Wilder covers. 1, 2. Mad Dog X powered out of the pin. Not quite sure how he did it, but he sure did. Dash Wilder, sensing the end could be near. Oh, double knees right to the head of Mad Dog X. Here's a cover, a hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir, you could have counted to 500. The Revival advancing to the next round.
Here's the time, 8 minutes and 43 seconds. Your winners, the Revival.
Well, that is the nature of tournament wrestling. There will be the occasional upset, and ladies and gentlemen, we just saw one. The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, picking up an upset win over the X-Clan, for whom it is back to the old drawing board. When we return, our next tournament qualifying tag team matchup, right after the break. Stay with us. Alright, to conclude the first hour, another qualifying tournament matchup. This time it's Strike Force, Rick Martel and Tito Santana, locking horns with Killer and Psycho, the Texas Hangman. And joining us for this match in the booth, Raw General Manager Hangman Tex Lynch.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next tournament qualifying match is also scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring first, total combined weight, 479 pounds. From Quebec City, Rick Martel, and from Tocula, Mexico, Tito Santana. Together they are Strike Force.
Good evening, everybody. How you doing? Dandy Don. I am here to tell you that as good as Tito Santana and Rick Martel are, they ain't got a snowball's chance in hell against the Texas Hangman. They're going to go through this tournament. I'm telling you, they are going to be tag team champions. I'm telling you right now.
Tex, did you put them up to this?
Absolutely not. This was MJ Ferrantino's thing altogether. He is their manager after all, and I'm proud of them. I'm real happy. I hope they do it. I really don't think Tito Santana and Rick Martel Strike Force ain't got a chance, man. I'm telling you.
They just got through destroying the toxic table with a little help from Terry Funk. And you're so enthusiastic about him, Tex. It's hard for me not to get excited too. I'm with you all the way on this. I think Killer and Psycho are going to the next round.
Their opponents representing the Ferrantino group from the Lone Star State, combined weight 634 pounds, Killer. And Psycho, the Texas Hangman.
If I might intercede here, Mr. Lynch, I had a brief chat with MJ Ferrantino earlier today, and he said, out of the many tag teams he's got, and no joke, there's plenty, he believes the Hangmen will be the ones to make it all the way through. And hey, if all their opponents are like Strike Force, he may have a case.
If you mean by that they've got a size and weight advantage, well, from your mouth to God's ears, Mike, oh man, it is so good to hang out with you again. What a matchup we got going here to close out the first hour. Dan, oh man, Dandy Don, take it away.
All right, it'll be Rick Martel and Killer. Starting off this one. Tom Kanamura sounds the bell. Killer charges. Rick Martel quick with the counter and a clothesline. Puts Killer out on the floor almost immediately. Rick Martel immediately starts putting the boots to Killer. Killer has him up over the shoulder. Martel counters with an inverted DDT. Quickly rounding Killer back up. Rick Martel trying to lift the weight, but it was too much. Killer countered again by Rick Martel. Killer slams Martel to the floor. Martel counters again with another right. Killer counters. An elbow to the face of Rick Martel there, going further and further away from the ring, and the referee just getting the numbers up there. Killer drives a knee into the back of the head of Rick Martel. Martel counters again. Killer counters him with a slap in the face. An elbow to the face. Killer with Martel up over the shoulders. Flapjack face first into the floor. Tom Kanamura continues to count, but Martel just rolled in. Killer comes in himself and goes right back to work on Rick Martel. Whips him to the Texas Hangman's corner. Martel counters and escapes. Goes after Psycho, but not a good idea. Oh, he just made a huge mistake. Tito Santana coming in for the rescue here. Psycho up on this. Oh, implant DDT from Psycho. Tito Santana takes him down with his shoulder. Follows up with a stomp. Santana with a camel clutch. But Psycho slips out of that one. Gets a hold of Santana. Santana counters with a kick. Jumping neckbreaker. Tito Santana getting some love from the crowd here in San Antonio, of course. Psycho counter. A suplex from Tito Santana. A stomp to the back of Psycho. Santana drives a knee right into the head of Psycho. Off this drop. Tito Santana firmly in control of the situation at the present time. Elbows into the shoulder of Psycho, and neckbreaker. Just put it into Santana's rally. Here comes Killer again on the tag. A kick. Another. Down goes Santana, center ring. Santana catches another shot. Killer whip to the corner. Counter by Killer, and an elbow puts Santana down again. Another kick to the chest keeps him there. And Santana's out. Santana quickly counters with a jawbreaker. A clothesline that did absolutely nothing. Killer whipped into the corner quickly, finds his way out. Santana with a kick to the midsection. Killer counters with a forearm. Santana with a right hand, a jumping elbow. And a quick hip up. Killer whip to the corner. Boot party time. Tito Santana and Rick Martel gonna trade tags and deliver the boots. The Texas Hangman Killer. Santana taking his turn. Going to work on the Texas Hangman here. And here comes the coup de grace. Drop kick right into the midsection. Out to center ring, rolls Killer. Rick Martel goes for the cover. 1, 2. But no. Hard to believe. But he found his way out. A stomp to the back from Rick Martel. An elbow counter from Killer. Up over the shoulders. The Killer counters Martel with elbows. Gets a hold of Martel. Whoa! A snap DDT. Puts Martel face first into the mat. Flip over neck whip. And now Killer stalking Rick Martel here. Has a hold on him, up over the shoulders we go. Michinoku driver. As Killer drags Martel towards center ring, goes for the cover, hooks the leg one. Tito Santana right there to break it up. And Santana catching a beating from Psycho. Psycho and Santana trading shots here. Meanwhile, Rick Martel gets back to a standing position. Killer catches a shot to the back. Rick Martel catches a second. Killer ducks out of the way, swings and misses with the clothesline. As order is finally restored in this matchup. Martel dragged towards center ring. Killer covers 1, 2, 3. No, that is going to do it. The Texas Hangman advancing to the next round of this tournament.
Here's the time, 5 minutes and 1 second. Your winners, the Texas Hangman.
Well, I'm not going to start singing any hosannas right away, but I'll tell you what, this is a pretty good start. And if all the opponents are like these guys, well, then the Texas Hangman might just breeze their way through this here tournament. Killer and Psycho picking up a terrific win here over Strikeforce. I gotta love it, and so do you, Don.
I love it too, Tex. I absolutely do. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the first hour of tonight's RWL Rage. When we return, the second half and more tag team competition, all waiting on the other side of the break.